What's up, everybody? I'm Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah. And this is the Music Report Card, where albums are reviewed based on the vocals, lyrics,
the production, and the sonic vibe.
Alright, today we are going to be reviewing Taylor Swift,
The Long Pond
Studio Sessions
from the Disney Plus special. We got that title right.
That's a lot.
Somebody give us a hand clap. Amen. Amen. Right.
Alright, but before we do that, we want to definitely say thank you to everybody who has supported us the past 6 months.
Wow. I can't believe it's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months.
Yes, we've done a lot of reviews.
We got a lot
of hate mail, a lot of hate comments.
But a lot of positive.
And we're a lot of love.
Super excited for the people who are positive about what we have going on.
Yes.
We definitely have some more things that are going on. We are actually going to be taking a short break.
The two of us.
From the Music Report Card.
I need a break, y'all.
Season 1 is up. Season 2 coming very soon.
Yes.
But in between the time,
we have some special projects. I am releasing a cooking show. If y'all don't know anything about your boy, I can throw that.
What's the cooking show going to be called?
It's going to be called Cooking 101 with Cam.
So, let's go ahead and give them a sneak peek.
A little small sneak peek of my show, Cooking 101 with Cam. Y'all check it out. What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to another great, fabulous, wonderful episode of Cooking 101 with Cam. All right, did y'all love it? Y'all know I look like I was throwing down, and the food is amazing. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss anything about the Cooking 101 with Cam. What else do we have coming up?
All right, what else do we have coming up? We have
Homeroom,
y'all.
Hosted by Jory, the beautiful, talented Jory.
Here's a sneak peek of the Homeroom hosted by Jory.
Yes.
Hello, welcome to another episode of The Homeroom. So today we want to talk about everyday issues facing Black Americans.
I've been in church my whole life. It's scary, if I'm being honest. I feel like
think of what they was going through back in the day, you know.
All right, I know y'all love that. Shouts out to Jory. She's an amazing host, executive produced by us as well as Osha D. And then we have another incredible show also hosted by me called The Report. And I'm going to be coming to y'all live daily, giving y'all all the hot music news, all the new music, all the singles that come out. We're going to make sure it's different than the Music Report Card. I will only be dealing with singles and music news. But y'all stay tuned and check that out as well.
All right, so why we are here today, Taylor Swift.
Yo, girl. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a small story. This guy, since we reviewed Taylor Swift's initial album, Folklore, he has fallen in love with this album. And I have to say that since he fell in love with it, he's kind of like spread it to everyone, literally everyone that he knows. And so that includes
this for your mama and them.
And so I'm actually excited that Taylor came back around with this Long Pond session.
Because it's live and it's a little different. So we're going to do it a little different than we have done previously, where we'll talk about vocals, we'll talk about lyrics, we'll talk about some of these things. But overall, we just want to talk about our post-reaction, I guess is what this is, to the Long Pond sessions.
Yes. So let's talk about it. I'm going to say, and I'm just going to start out. We're going to go for the bang.
Let's talk about vocals. What did you think about her vocals overall throughout this thing?
I mean, I thought they were very, very solid. I'm going to just jump right in and say, since the Folklore album came out, I have an innate connection, if you will, to the song called Peace. And I was so happy to see her with the producers and just in that zone. There were a couple of pieces that I was missing. I know we're talking about vocals, but I just love that song with my whole heart. I'm so glad that I experienced this Taylor Swift album, and Peace just takes me to another place. Vocally, she gives me everything that I needed on that song.
Yeah, I think that vocally throughout this entire experience, Taylor's vocals were on point. And
And when you say on point, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're not saying that she's the best singer in America,
No.
but some of her choices,
The choices,
the
breaths, the when to take a breath, when to hold it out, when to do all these different things, when to hold your notes and extend them, she would end certain things with a ooh.
Some of the melody choices that she chose, all of that really plays a part in the vocal throughout that she gave us. So,
and in some of our previous reviews, we also talked about. I talked about how letting that, I think on Meg Thee Stallion, I talked about how that energy has to come across. If you're talking about something that's happy, you have to smile. If you're talking about something that's sad, you have to be sad. But when you see her talking about something that she's happy about, you see her smiling while she's singing that, and that's coming across. And it's not something that we know that she's smiling, but we feel it. Yeah. And that's so important when you are doing vocals in the studio. Even though this was a live production, it was still in the studio and it was still recorded. So she just really, her vocals were just really, really great. But what I will say is I was a little mad that I felt cheated a little bit.
She held back a little bit for you.
She held back on some of the songs like Hopes. She chose to stood on the cliffside singing give me a reason instead of stood on the cliffside saying give me the reason. Because on the actual album she has this, she's up high, she's doing these real breathy, subtle moments on that song, and that's what's so pretty about it. So for her I almost felt cheated when she went down. I was like, I was waiting for, but I just went ahead and sang it with her.
Alright, so enough about the vocals. Let's talk about the lyrics. And I felt like a special part of this Disney special, was that she actually got a chance to sit down and talk about the stories behind the songs and the stories behind the creation of the songs. And I really, you gave us a little bit, you told me a little bit about them, but to hear it from her perspective and some of the songs that she delivered and some of the stories that she told, I thought were amazing. It just helped the album come full circle for me. I loved when she was sitting with her pretty blue eyes, and it was a little almost like haunting, yes. Talking to the producer, and it was just like, wow, this is an amazing story. And I just felt like the lyric of this, and we talked about this before, in my opinion, have been some of the best lyrics that we've heard probably all year.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. I think that lyrically, Taylor Swift she's up there, y'all. I mean, I don't know that I can think of someone who beats her lyrically.
Not this year. I don't know.
But to be honest, y'all, she is genius. Like, sitting down and listening to her talk about some of these songs, and then also, let's just talk about the love triangle.
Yes.
All right, so who puts a love triangle in their song, in their album? Who puts a love triangle in their album, but tells a story through the songs and through
from each person's
perspective? But we all, in our own minds, have created our own story for it, because the lyrics are so open for interpretation, for your own interpretation. So
and
you sit there and you listen to
each of the producers were like, I kind of took it this way, and I felt
he said allegedly, and she's like, no, I wrote the song. We wrote the song. Like, no, this is what it is. But it was just so interesting for her to say, this is my story. With a lot of the different lyrics, she's talking about what it meant for her, but what it meant for so many other people is on a whole different level. And the reason I really relate to these lyrics and how I connected with this album, I feel like a lot of us are grown children, and relationships and things from our past, whether it's family relationships, but also more importantly, our love relationships, have really damaged a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Things that we have been through in the past, and to hear her reflect on this album and tell the stories of this love from back in the day, it offers a healing from the trauma that I had as a child, or different situations that I've been in, or different relationships. I've had a summer love, and to hear this apology, from the other individual as one of the songs in the trilogy. So the apology is Betty.
Yes.
Betty, I will make assumptions about why you switched your home, but I think it's because of me. Like, I was mad that I didn't hear the harmonica.
It was only
but
3 of
there
them.
was only so it's to be expected. And then August, just that summer love and this girl thinking that I was the one and thinking that she had it all, but actually you weren't even mine to lose. You were committed to something else and you had your eye on something else. But then from the other girl's perspective, Cardigan, she's just in love with this guy who, picked her up when she felt like an old cardigan and put her on, and made her feel loved and made her feel so many of these songs. I really recommend everyone listen to this album and really dive into the lyrics and figure out how you relate to it, because I feel like there's some type of way that you can relate to it. But I won't continue to ramble on about the lyrics, which is where
so I showed up at your party.
Right.
I love it. That's so, yeah. But let's jump into the production, which was primarily done by Aaron Dessner and Jack Antonoff. I love to see them in the studio with her doing the live, vibing out. They both were just so into it, and just their bodies and their faces and everything that they had within them playing these instruments really, really sold me on the musicality that they were able to offer, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. On the special, it definitely translated on the album, but it definitely gave a great vibe. I thought some of the songs where I was like missing a little piece of on Peace. When I heard it the first time that I started to love it, it was like there was this it's a bass guitar, but then there's like a bass under the bass where it's like but then there's something up under there, and I didn't hear that on the Disney special, but it still felt really good, and I just I loved it.
It's interesting because the producer, when he talked about that particular song, he said to Taylor, well, you just told me send whatever off the wall things that you have. And when you really honestly take Taylor out of that,
oh my god,
it is truly off the wall. So, not to go back to lyrics, but the fact that Taylor was able to do what she did lyrically and melodically to that song, but I'm a fire and I'll keep you pretty hard warm if you can. Okay, you do the bass, and then I'll do what she did over top of it.
But wait, can we talk about the piano in the back, the little beat?
So this is him, y'all, giving this boom, 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 boom.
Okay, so I'm saying. Right.
Boom, dum, dum. What? Taylor, you chose the right production team for this album.
Give me a little bit of it, Frank.
Well, you gotta do ba-dum-ba-dum-dum.
Okay.
But I'm a fire and I keep you pretty hard warm. If you cascade, ocean wave blues come. It's a little off. But y'all gotta go listen to it.
That's not right.
Y'all gotta go listen to it. Not
but I will die for you in secret. Say the devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. Yeah.
Would it be enough?
But would it be enough if I could never give you peace? What?
So it's just interesting also for her to talk about that particular song, which when we did the actual review that y'all need to check out, was my favorite song. Like, yeah. I already had understood the geniusness that the song had to offer.
That's a word.
That the song had to offer, and I had to bring Camarray in because he wasn't really hearing it all the way. So I played it, and Camarray lost his shit.
I really did, because I was like, wait, it was just the fact that everything was so subtle, and until I was under an influence, I just didn't hear it. But I delved right.
Production wise, bomb.com. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I don't remember what I gave them, but I would give them a 5 here and now.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
All right, so moving on to the Sonic Flow.
Sonic Flow. I mean, like, you can't I will say this. You can't listen to this album and not fall in love. I will still say, I don't know if I said it back then, even though I love 98.9% of the songs, I did feel it was a little long still. Watching the special, I was like, okay, this is nice, this is great. But I feel like I could have left a few of the songs out, maybe if she had to pick maybe her top 10 songs, perform those, and then, went along with it. But overall, I still love the fact that we have this full album / this full special out there to enjoy.
I don't know that I could miss a song on here. Like, I don't know that they could remove a song.
But she can pick definitely the top 10 best songs on the album.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I would.
Because I think, again, this, like she said, this is a product of isolation. And when you really, truly isolate yourself, you come up with some amazing things, which she hath done.
I've done it.
And it's just kind of hard to choose because I don't know what I would remove. And then I didn't really care for the bonus tracks, which was The Lakes, until she told the story about the lakes, which is this, this area where all these poets back in the days would run off to live their life and live on. And it's just this little cottage house. So, or all these little cottage houses. And she dreams of just having that simplicity in retiring and living in one of these cottage houses where she's just left alone. So for her to say, like, take me to the lakes and, all that on the song,
And I also loved on the story about mirror ball and how she talked about, how you have this mirror ball and it's just hanging and, it's there to bring light and, it reflects the lights that are in the room. But then once that thing, all the lights are off and all of, when
the actual light, when the party's over and all the lights come on and you look at it without the fancy lights
there are no
flickering off of it, it's not special. It's very broken and it's very.
Yeah, I loved that story. That was deep. And that was one of my favorite songs back when we initially reviewed it, but to hear the story behind it was like...
But just to think about who thinks like that and then translates that lyrically, but also takes into consideration that the melody has to be hot and all these different things on top of what the producers have already produced.
Yes.
Taylor, you're genius.
Yes. All right, well, that was enough about Taylor Swift and her Long Pond sessions. Again, I think we can both say that we both love this album. One of us a little bit more than the other, but I'm so on board with it. If I had to give her an overall grade for these Pond sessions, the stories and all of the things that she was able to convey, I would give her a strong A-. It was like I said, everything was in place except for I felt like it was just a little lengthy. But other than that, I was sold.
If I had to give her a grade for the Pond sessions, it would be an A. I can't give her the plus just because she cheated me on a couple things. But genius.
Yeah.
I mean, genius in, like we talked about the vocals and the choices that she made. Genius in the lyrics, which was already a thing. We already knew that it was genius. More so genius production-wise now that we see these two guys, Aaron and Jack, and what they have and how creative they are in their own ways.
Oh my God!
To come together and work together on a project.
Yes.
And even just the flow overall. Of the album, I think that it just flowed very, very well.
But it's very telling that Miss Taylor Swift actually received 6 Grammy nominations for this album, Folklore. So make sure you guys tune in 2021. We'll be back to give y'all another review for the Grammys. But congratulations to Taylor for pulling 6 Grammy nods for this album. Incredible, impeccable work. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't, other than make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this video, this review, this reaction of the Long Pond sessions.
Yes. Please share with everybody.
Please also like and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you also click the little bell so that you receive the notifications as we showed you a little sneak peek of some of the things that we have coming up.
Good, y'all.
We want to keep you entertained.
Thank you guys for your support, your continuous support. And with that being said, I'm your boy Camarray.
I'm Zaiah.
And we'll talk to y'all next time.
Peace out.